Now, tell me more about your race, the state of your race, and then how my listeners in particular could help you out.
And so what we're looking for, why we came onto the show, this is our second time, and we liked the first interview because it gave us a good chance to show people where we stand on some of these issues that don't get brought up, don't get posted on our webpage, things like that. And so what we want to use this type of a setting to use for our campaign is to reach people and say, hey, our campaign exists in a state where you probably didn't figure that a progressive had a chance to run. We've sat down as a campaign team and we've started mapping out canvassing routes and things like that. But what we need is, sadly, money. What we need is, we've had I think we're, as of this morning, 62 individual donations. And those donations are about an average of $38. If everyone watching this program gave us $38, we would be able to fund our campaign for the rest of the campaign. That would allow us to print off our brochures, to support our canvassers, our volunteers, going out to the community and speaking to voters. Because as a campaign team, we're not going to be on the AJC, the largest newspaper in Atlanta. We're not going to be on Fox 5 with our, very beautiful media spots. What we're going to do is we're going to spend every dollar that we raise to go out into the community and have a conversation with people to say, hey, I'm going to have a D next to my name in November. Because we are officially on the ballot come November. We don't have a primary opponent. We have 2 Republicans that have a primary in May, and we'll know for sure who we're running against. But it doesn't matter. What we want to show people is, even with the D next to my name, I represent true progress for this district. If you want to have your schools be better for your kids, if you want to have your fire and your police paid better but also trained better to where they can interact with the community in a respectable and trustworthy way, if you want to have mass transit options come to your district where you can get to work a reasonable amount of time and companies want to come to the state of Georgia and in the Atlanta area because they feel like their employees and their economic benefits are higher in the city. And then finally, if you want to remove voter restrictions to be able to get on to where you can go out and vote. In Georgia, we do a lot of things in voting correctly, but one of the biggest problems that we have is the 30-day advance registration requirement. Because what that means is, if you wake up and you want to go vote in a primary, if you didn't plan on doing that a month in advance, you can now no longer go out and vote. And so with education, with public safety, with mass transit, with voting reform, I want to go out and have a conversation. But again, we need money to be able to print off the brochures, to be able to get food and water for our volunteers, get shirts, to be able to go out to community events and have a booth at things like the Big Shanty Festival in Kennesaw. And again, we don't need, the max donations. We're doing this just like Bernie Sanders does, to where we have, our average is a little higher because my family, generously supported me, and I've supported the campaign as well. But our average is a little higher than the $27. But even if you just if everyone watching this donated $20, we would be able to get our literature printed, our shirts printed for our volunteers. We'd be able to start our canvassing efforts early. We have 7 months as of today to reach every voter in our district twice, because we have a plan that says we're going to get outspent on media buys, buying special interest groups, but the most cost-effective way is to have a conversation, and we want to start that as early as possible, because if we can talk to them twice, they go into the voting booth in November, remember our name, remember what we can do for them and their families, and we can have real change come in the state legislature, but we need your help. We need donations and we need volunteers if you're local to District 34 in Georgia.
Justin, it's always a pleasure, man. I like your analysis, and I appreciate what you're doing in your campaign. Thanks so much for joining us again. What's the website again, just for everyone to go over and check you out?
So our website is my name, Justin, Justin, the number 4, ga.com. You go on there. If you're local in the city of Atlanta, even if you don't live in our district, you can still sign up to volunteer for us. There's a volunteer form next to our volunteer coordinator form. If you wanted to get involved at a local level in politics, we all like to donate to Bernie Sanders. Me and my wife have donated some money to his campaign, but we've donated over $100 to the campaign. But that money, doesn't really impact a national race as much as it does impact a local race like ours. $100 to us is game-changing. 5 volunteers, if you and your family come and sign up to volunteer for our campaign, that's game-changing. Yeah. That puts 1/8 of the way to our entire goal if you and 4 other people sign up to volunteer. And like I said, you don't have to live in our district, but we do need donations. We need volunteers so we can go out there and canvass. If you want to go out and speak to people about the issues facing them in Georgia, our campaign is, one of your best options in the state of Georgia. There's a lot of them all around the city, but a lot of them are in districts to where, Democrats win more often. If you want to come out and fight for true progressive change to flip a district, Justin4ga.com.
Justin, I have a group. There's a group, Cobb County Women for Bernie Sanders, and I'm gonna get their leader in touch with you. I mentioned you, and she's like, really? There's somebody out here? I said, yeah. He said Marietta, Kennesaw State, KSU area. She's like, oh my God. So there's a lot of us. There are a lot of Bernie people here who are just looking for what's next.
Yeah, we've gone and spoken at the Kennesaw State University campus to their Bernie student group, and whenever we walked into the room, they said, wait, you can have Democrats run in this area for the state legislature? It's real, guys. It's real. A progressive is right.
There's some people power we can try and figure out. I'll email you follow up to try and see if we can leverage some people power your way.
Justin, listen, thanks so much for joining us. Like I said, it's always a pleasure. You have some great analysis, and we'll get you back for some more analysis. And every time I bring you on for your analysis, I'm always going to give you a chance to talk about your campaign. So thanks so much for joining us, my friend.
Thank you, Mr. Dixon. You guys do a great job here at the Progressive Army.
Thanks so much, man. I appreciate that.